Hi, I'm Andy LeGrand. Welcome to our program. Today we'll take a close look at a topic well worth investigating. Each of us at one time or another has experienced an accident, whether it was something minor or something more serious. Accidents ultimately affect us all. An accident may seem to occur for obvious reasons, such as unsafe work habits or hazardous conditions. Of course, these things can contribute to an accident, but there are often other elements which aren't so obvious that can come into play too. That's why we may need to conduct an accident investigation to find out the real reasons behind an accident. There are two main goals of an accident investigation: to determine the cause or causes of the accident and to prevent the same type of accident from happening again. It's important to remember that the goal of an accident investigation is not to assign blame or get anyone in trouble. It's to prevent anyone else, including you, from being injured. But before we discuss how to investigate an accident, let's talk about how to prevent them from happening in the first place. A near miss is an incident which, under slightly different circumstances, could have resulted in an injury or damage to equipment or materials. In other words, an accident waiting to happen. Near misses can warn us about a problem before something more serious happens. And it's much better to learn from near misses than from accidents. Consider yourself lucky if you escape with a near miss. An accident could have been much worse. Unfortunately, we won't always have a near miss to warn us about a potential problem. If an accident does occur, our first concern should be that the people who are injured are being cared for. Once that is taken care of, the area should be secured so that no one else can get hurt. Safety tape is often used for this. Securing the area will also help prevent people from tampering with evidence that investigators will need to look at. The accident investigation will usually begin right away. Interviews may take place as soon as the area is secured. It is important to remember that the investigator needs your help. Be honest and provide as much information as you can. Even if you did not witness the accident, investigators may want to talk with you, especially if you are familiar with the site or the task being performed at the time of the accident. Remember, the information is being gathered to help determine the exact cause of the accident, not to place blame on anyone. Determining the cause of an accident is not always easy. After all, most accidents have several contributing factors. That is why a root cause analysis can often help the situation. A root cause analysis is an examination of the chain of events that led to an accident. These events may have taken place days, weeks, or even months before the accident actually occurred. So it is important that the root cause analysis be thorough. Potential factors to look for include faulty or poorly maintained equipment, lack of training, or the lack of appropriate policies and procedures. Remember, root cause analysis looks for all of the factors that could have contributed to the accident, which is why it is a vital part of any accident investigation. During an investigation, offer as much information as you can regarding the accident. This includes any relevant facts about the workers involved, the site where the accident occurred, and the working conditions at the site. A successful root cause analysis relies on detail. It will help if you are familiar with the safety practices that are used in the work area where the accident occurred. And don't worry about giving investigators too much information. They will sort it all out. You never know when some small fact will be the key to what happened. Let's look at an example. If a warehouse worker is on the top step of a ladder and falls off, it may appear to be an easy investigation. It seems obvious that the worker ignored the rule about not standing on the top step of a ladder, lost his balance, and that is why he fell. The worker's actions are certainly a factor, but there can be other reasons this accident occurred as well. In order to help prevent the same type of accident from happening again, we need to look deeper. Maybe the ladder he was on was the tallest one in the warehouse. We know a person fell off a ladder. We also know that he was standing on the top step. By continuing the investigation, we eventually discover that he was using the tallest ladder in the warehouse. The worker's carelessness is a factor, but the lack of proper equipment is the root cause of this accident. The warehouse needs a taller ladder to help prevent another worker from falling. Remember, the ultimate goal of an accident investigation is to prevent the incident from happening again. Let's look at another example of root cause analysis. A worker fixing a machine is suddenly shocked. You might conclude that since there was electricity involved, the situation was inherently hazardous, that there wasn't much that could be done to make this situation safer. But it takes electricity to run the machine, and there are procedures that allow electrically powered equipment to be worked on safely. So there must be other factors to consider. For instance, should the system have been locked out? If so, why wasn't it? We need to look at whether training on lockout-tagout procedures had been given to the worker who was repairing the machine. If he had received training, we would also need to determine if the worker was following the procedures that he learned. In this instance, the investigator determined that the root cause of the accident was a lack of training. The worker never attended the lockout-tagout class he was scheduled for, and therefore never knew the danger he was putting himself into. Let's apply root cause analysis to a third example. Slips and falls are accidents that people don't always investigate fully. If a person falls, we usually figure they lost their grip or their footing. If we investigate further, we might discover that in this case, the worker did not follow procedure by wearing his fall protection gear. We would then need to find out why.
Well, I was walking by earlier, and John was up on the second shelf. He didn't have his fall protection on. He's been rushing around all morning trying to get things done. He had an order to get out of here by...
There are a number of reasons why an employee might skip the proper procedures for a job. All of them are bad.
Hey guys, we have a truckload coming in. Need this whole rack cleared off here. Scott, you can start right down here with the little stuff.
In an attempt to increase their output, a worker in a hurry can forget about safety. Ironically, if an accident occurs as a result, production will often slow down or even stop altogether. Workers need to clearly hear and understand any instructions they receive about the job they are doing. If communications aren't clear, or there is a question about what should really be done, instructions should be repeated so that everyone understands the proper procedure. So far, we've only looked at the first goal of an accident investigation, determining the cause. Now let's look at the other goal, making sure that the same type of accident doesn't happen again. For this, we need to take a little longer view. Remember, When it comes to learning from accidents, there are three basic areas to look at: policies, training, and equipment. Proper training is always a key element in preventing accidents. If problems have existed with certain types of activities or situations in the past, everyone should be made aware of the potential hazards that are associated with those situations and be trained to handle them. If a situation is hazardous enough, your facility may have to put new policies into place, or existing policies may have to be updated. This can often take the form of workplace rules or standard operating procedures that everyone must follow. Many accidents are caused by faulty or misused equipment. If this is the case, the equipment may need to be repaired. If repairs are not possible, or if the correct equipment isn't being used, new equipment may have to be purchased, which may also require additional training. In many cases, the solution to the problem involves policies, training, and equipment.
As you can see, investigating accidents can be a reasonably involved process. But the goal of an accident investigation, to determine the cause of an accident and prevent similar accidents from happening again, is worth the effort. Let's review what you can do to help. Report near misses. They can teach us a lot about preventing accidents. In the event of an accident, remember, people's safety is the top priority. Cooperate with investigators. Their goal is to prevent other accidents from occurring. Provide investigators with as much information as you can. Communication is vitally important. Remember that a root cause analysis is an examination of the entire chain of events that led to an accident, so no detail is unimportant. If you are helping to investigate an accident, look at all three major factors: policies, training, and equipment. An accident investigation can help solve the mystery behind any safety problem and gives you a chance to help your coworkers and yourself.